Later this evening, we will be joined by Study Group's partner sales manager for the Philippines, Miss Joanna Alejandro. So remember, Study Group is giving tonight on-the-spot offers and automatic scholarship grants up to 5,000 pounds. Okay, before we go to the more serious stuff, game muna tayo. Let's do a trivia game where you can win different merch from Study Group pag nag-apply na tayo and nandito na tayo sa physical office natin. Okay? So let's start. Okay, United Kingdom trivia game. So, yung mga mag-answer, just type in your answers sa chat box natin. And may mag-monitor naman kung sino yung first na makakasagot. Okay. So here, the United Kingdom is composed of how many countries? So United Kingdom is composed of how many countries? May mga nag-answer na ba?
Meron.
Okay.
We have Cristel. Ang sabi niya is 4.
Cristel. And correct, your answer is 4. So correct siya. So ang UK ay composed of 4 countries, namely England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Okay, very good. So next naman. Ito medyo mahirap yung question natin. How long was Queen Elizabeth II's reign as the Queen of the United Kingdom? So how long? Medyo matagal to. Parang buong buhay ko siya yung Queen ng United Kingdom. Ay, congratulations. May tama na si Carl Marvin Yabot. 70 years, true. Nag-jubilee siya and then she went on. Charing. Ayan. So, very good. Carl Marvin Yabot, 70 years. Tama. From 1952 to 2022. Okay, for the third question. Who is the most commercially successful British girl group of all time? So, eto, tingnan natin sino yung mga 90s kid dito sa students. Oh, there you go. Randall Alexis Sabilala. Spice Girls, true. So 90s kid ka, no, ano ba? Si Randall. 90s kid si Randall for sure. Kasi kilala niya pa yung Spice Girls. Ayan. Spice Girls with 80 million records sold worldwide. Ayan. Oh. Next one naman. She is also known as the Iron Lady. So kung napanood niyo yung movie ni Meryl Streep, kilala niyo to. Who is UK's Iron Lady? Congratulations, Tanika. Tanika with Margaret Thatcher. Ayan, very good. Tama yung sagot. Ito, last na. Last question for this afternoon. Ito, madali lang to kung funny din kayo ng sports. So when was the Olympics held at London? So kung kalala niyo si Tom Daley, kung crush niyo rin siya. Ako crush ko si Tom Daley. Alam niyo yan. Back si Tanika again with 2012. True. London Olympics was the Olympics was held at London noong 2012. Ayun. So congratulations to our winners. So yung prizes natin, you can claim it once na nag-apply tayo and nag-submit tayo ng mga applications natin here at our office. Merong mga merch na dala dito yung study group for you guys. And yun, hopefully, we'll see you soon para sa mga prizes natin. And of course, mas importantly, doon sa applications natin. Okay, so let's go naman to a more serious topic. So why study abroad? So like we have universities naman here in the Philippines, diba, that are equally good. Magaganda rin naman universities here in the Philippines. So why study abroad? So can I ask our students why do you want to study abroad? So you can unmute yourselves or raise your hand if you want to share, or you can just type in your answers. Anyone? Okay, according to Jansen, work abroad. According to Michaela, great opportunities that lies ahead. Yes, of course. Quality education from world-class universities. Very good, Cristel. Very true naman. Mm-hmm. Are there any other answers pa? The quality of education is comparable. Very true. Mm-hmm. And then from Bianca, field of interest is more established in other countries. Mm-hmm. From Mabel, aiming for work-life balance. Yan, very, very true naman. Lahat ng answers natin, all your answers are valid and correct. So now, let's narrow down the question. So before I ask you why study abroad, so now, why choose the UK? Why UK? Anyone? Good education from Bianca, from Cristel, diverse culture and clean environment. And si Donnelly, my parents are there. Oh, I hope my parents are there as well. And then si Joyce Cortez, the weather. Mhm. Lovely weather always. And then si Angela, it's my dream country to study in. Oh, same as me. And then si Carl Marvin naman, it's so historic as if it takes you back in time. Very true. And then si Michaela, renowned universities and for money. Si Randall Culture, si Bianca, equal opportunities without discrimination, very true. Happy Pride. Si Cristel, food and pubs. Yan. And then si Jansen, good education and history. So yon, very true naman yung mga answers natin why we want to study in the UK. So here, so why nga naman, why the United Kingdom? So firstly, for international recognitions. Since most schools in the UK have an impressive international reputation and rank among the best in the world, graduating from these universities will give you a boost and an edge to your future plans. Next, the value for money. This value for money is especially true for the UK. Degrees sa UK usually takes 3 years lang to finish and 1 year lang to finish a master's degree. Unlike in other countries, that it would take you at least 4 or more years for you to finish a degree or a master's. And then lastly, graduate immigration route. This provides an opportunity for UK graduates to stay in the UK for a year or more to work or to look for work. So if your plan is to stay there and practice your degree in the UK, this graduate immigration route would be a big help for you to achieve that. Now you can dig deeper on those topics once you booked an appointment with our IDP expert counselors for the UK. You can message our team, Christine and Gerald, who's in the chat box. Our booking team is there. Just message them to book your appointments. So with that being said, let's talk about the preparation timeline. Okay. The recommended preparation time for the United Kingdom and Ireland is 10 to 12 months in advance of intake date. In the UK, there are two big intake dates, the fall and the spring intake. The fall intake is the biggest. This happens every September, October. This is the biggest intake date because all universities are open and all programs are offered. The second biggest intake date naman would be the spring intake, or this happens naman every January or February. So this is the second biggest intake date because it focuses more on the postgraduate degrees. So not all universities are open and not all programs are offered. Kaya mas marami talagang students na nagpupunta sa UK pag September or yung fall intake kasi that is basically the start of their school year. Yung parang mas common na start ng school year ng studies sa UK. Okay, so here are the requirements that the student needs to prepare in applying for school. So yan, filled application form, TOR, predicted grades, diploma, English proficiency exam, statement of purpose, other requirements. So don't worry about this because your IDP counselor naman, once you book an appointment with them, they will be discussing this to you thoroughly. And then, bibigyan din nila kayo ng copy ng mga requirements niyo na kailangan for application. Okay, so as I've said, book a consultation now with your IDP counselors now. Ito. So now to discuss naman who and what study group is. Here is their partner sales manager for the Philippines, Miss Joanna Alejandro. Hi, Miss Joanna.
Hi, Danny. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to our guests. All right. Just for a quick tech check, may I know if you guys can see my presentation? All right. Thank you so much for coming to our info session today on a Thursday afternoon. We appreciate your time, of course, joining us to discuss furthermore about studying in the UK and, of course, our university options. I'm Joanna. As Danny have introduced me, I'm the partner sales manager for Philippines. So, which means that for any inquiry you may have or any particular question you have about studying in the UK in our universities, the admissions process, I'm here to provide support and help you together with your agent IDP, of course. So with studying in the UK, there is actually never been a better time to study there. So as Danny have mentioned, it's actually a whole package if you come to think of it. So it's not just the academic prestige that you will be experiencing, but of course, it's also the skills development and a lot of other possible opportunities that you may experience, such as, of course, their history and culture, particularly if you are someone who's into the arts, architectural structures, visiting historical sites, museums, galleries. So UK is very much rich in all those aspects. When it comes to diversity, I would say that it's a very multicultural environment there. In fact, there are about 200,000 Filipinos in the UK already. So that's as much sorry about that. That's as much as Filipinos, whether that's a student for undergraduate studies or it's a student who intends to pursue their postgraduate studies in the UK. And just to share with you guys, in the UK as well, there are Filipino communities, not just in every university, but actually in the city, whether that's in London or that's another city like Leeds, Manchester, Liverpool, Sheffield. So all those cities you may be hearing right now, definitely you will be able to meet not just one Filipino, but an entire group of Filipinos there. UK is also boasting in research opportunities. So for students here who are interested to pursue their further studies into a PhD, so UK is a good training ground for research. So in fact, a lot of universities in the UK have been hubs of research experiments. So even those that we have been using in our day-to-day lives. So for example, during the height of the pandemic, there were different vaccinations, right? Vaccines or vaccinations that we were able to take advantage of during these times. Now, we were doing our vaccines in our LGUs, right? So one of the vaccinations that we have been familiar with is AstraZeneca. And it so happened that it is a research from one of the top universities in the UK. And of course, in terms of the global influence, so graduates from UK universities are known to hold influential positions around the world. In fact, we also have famous politicians, famous professionals here in the Philippines who are graduates from UK universities. And of course, it's not just those who are in these kinds of professions, especially for those students who would like to, let's say, continue on in a career in medicine, in engineering, in the sciences. So the UK is a good training ground because not just for research, the universities there provide real life or hands-on experiences through their laboratories. And through this, you will also be able to meet other nationalities, other teachers or professors, which would, of course, open different kinds of networks for you to be able to look for employment and job as well. So the work opportunities are also endless. And of course, as Danny mentioned earlier, in terms of work opportunities, once you finish a bachelor's or a master's degree in the UK, you will be able to continue on or for living or whether studying there or looking for work for another 2 years. And of course, if you're a PhD or a doctoral student, you can extend up to 3 years. So this is mainly different as to comparing it to other destinations, for example, wherein it depends on the school, it depends on the program length. So in the UK, if it's a bachelor's or a master's degree, and of course, if it's a university with a track record of compliance with the UKVI, these are the extension or number of years that you can stay in the UK. And of course, you might be wondering, will I be able to get a job right after I finish graduation? So for UK students, given the quality or the high standards of learning and teaching in the universities there, almost 90 to 95% of students upon graduating within the 6 months are able to look for jobs. So there is high demand for UK graduates. It's not just for local students, but it's also open to international students. So here you might be thinking of whether to study in the UK, whether you want to consider Australia, Canada, or other destinations. So this is a brief comparison that might be able to help you in terms of the common knowledge that we have about the UK. So we would often encounter these misconceptions wherein studying in the UK is very expensive. It's just for those with the budget to be able to fulfill those kinds of fees. Probably there is this common misconception as well that when we say UK, London is very expensive. So London is one city in the UK, but there are definitely a lot of major cities outside where you can study. So in terms of the top universities versus the other destinations, for example, so in the QS ranking, 4 or 5 of universities in the UK are part of the top 10 and also are part of the top 1,000. So there are a lot of universities, name it, whether it's a Russell Group University or a middle ranking school that is a top or a world recognized university. Of course, in terms of the cost of living, you would be surprised that actually living in the UK is much more cheap or cheaper than its other counterparts. So you could say that in terms of the tuition fees, or so sorry, it's not included here yet, but in terms of the tuition fees, the UK is actually competing with Canada. So it's almost at the same range if you are going to consider the modern university or those cost-effective ones. And of course, for graduate employment, they have a high progression rate from university towards students who are looking for jobs. This is because a lot of the universities in the UK would prepare you even before graduating. So this is in form of job fairs within campus, helping you practice in terms of creating your CV or even doing mock job interviews. So there are a lot of support that universities will be able to provide students, of course, especially our international students. So you might be wondering, of course, who is study group anyway? Where do we come in terms of helping you apply to universities? How will study group exactly be able to provide those programs that you're looking for? So study group is one of the leading providers of pathway programs to international students. So if you are particularly a high school student right now who wants to study in the UK, this is a perfect fit for you, and even those postgraduate students who might be considering changing their career or whose work experience is different from their academic background, definitely there are a lot of opportunities for you as well. So with study group, we actually offer our programs, whether it's face to face or doing it on campus in the UK, but we also still have our online and hybrid programs. So I understand that with the pandemic, there have been a lot of changes in the setup as to how we are able to join classes, right? So normally we are now doing the hybrid setup, and a lot of students have been asking, if I am going to study in a university abroad, will there be a chance for me to do it online? So with study group, we want to provide that kind of leniency to you, of course, depending on what setup you prefer or what setup you're more comfortable. As to the university, so we are actually partnered with over 50 universities, not just in the UK, but across our universities in North America or the US. But for the UK, particularly in 2023, we have an 88% of progression rate. So this means these are students who are able to successfully complete their pathway program through us towards their nominated university of choice. So in a while, I will be able to show you how that works and how IDP and study group can help you on that. But good news is, from this 88% actually for Filipino students, we are a 100% progression. So that's how competitive we are in terms of, being able to work against the other nationalities. So it actually has been helpful in terms of the kind of curriculum we have had in the Philippines, particularly our K-12 setting. So for our university options, we of course provide wide choice of top institutions. So that's over 19 international study centers or our colleges within the universities across the UK, Ireland, and our US counterparts. So we offer over 500 teaching programs, which means you have a lot of options to choose from. It's very diverse depending on the academic and cultural background you're coming from, whether you're a student who wants to take up business, social sciences, the health sciences, or even science and engineering. And as I have mentioned earlier, so of course, 25% of the world's top 20 universities are partnered with us. So depending on the kind of school that you're looking for, if you want a top or a high ranking university, we have partners in the Russell Group schools. So the Russell Group schools are the Ivy League counterparts for US, for UK. And of course, we have our modern universities, wherein if you're looking for a more hands-on approach on teaching, it's mostly focused on developing your skills for a skilled work. So we do have those options as well. So who are these universities I am talking about? So here are our universities in the UK and Ireland. So it's spread across Scotland, going to, of course, Wales. And we also have one university in Ireland as well. So where are these universities located? Just so it's much better for us to picture these universities. So over here in the northern part, we have two universities in Scotland. So there might be someone here with a family, whether you're staying in Glasgow, in Aberdeen, or in Edinburgh. So we have two universities in this area. So particularly if you're a student who's interested to pursue the medical sciences. So University of Aberdeen is top two in the UK for its medical school. And of course, for those who want to study business, we have University of Strathclyde in Glasgow. So for our business schools, most of our business schools are actually Triple Crown accredited, just like University of Strathclyde. So as you know, if you encounter a university that is triple accredited, it means it's part of the 1% universities in the world with that kind of prestigious ranking for business school. So it's mostly sought after by employers around the world and not just in the UK. And if you're coming from these kinds of schools, of course, the opportunities for you could be limitless because of the credential and qualification that you hold. So please don't worry, because this is, of course, open to all students who has the extensive work experience or even those with the academic background, because we do not look at just the grades, but we want to be able to look at your qualifications as a whole. All right, so most of our other universities are located in central UK. So here in the northern part of England, we have our Russell Group schools, or our universities that are part of the top 24 in the UK. So we have University of Sheffield, one of our universities, well known for its engineering programs. So it's as specialized as whether you're a student who wants to take an aerospace program. So I have been getting a lot of those inquiries that it's becoming popular, especially for students who want to, become part of whether that's NASA or the space programs in the Philippines. So we also have Durham University. Durham is well known for its business and its law programs. So Durham is also part of the triple accredited schools in the UK, and we have University of Leeds. So University of Leeds is well known for their business and the social sciences as well. So for other universities that you notice here, these are our modern universities, or what we call our vocational schools. We call it vocational because the focus is more on helping you with the practical skills. Unlike the top universities, the Russell Group schools, wherein research is the focus. So if you're a student who is not particularly interested in doing research or dissertation, a modern university might be the good option for you, as this is targeting the skilled basically setting in terms of work. So we have Leeds Beckett University, famous for its sports facilities. So if you want to do sports sciences or other sports related programs, this university might be a good option for you. We have Liverpool John Moores University. So they're also well known for their sports programs. We have University of Huddersfield for their fashion marketing and other marketing programs. And we have Teesside University, well known for their arts and design programs. So for our other universities, whether you're probably looking for a university in London, we do have Royal Holloway University as well. So this is actually becoming popular for our high school students because of its unique campus setting. So a lot of universities in London are now city campus, wherein it's mostly buildings. But for our university here, Royal Holloway, it still maintains its green environment. It's the traditional or normal campus setting wherein you would be able to enjoy the quiet as well. So we also have Kingston University of London. And for those students who want to stay just outside London, but not too far, so let's say within an hour travel, we have University of Surrey, popular for their hospitality program. So University of Surrey is top one for their tourism and hospitality in the UK. And we have University of Sussex, which is the top one university in the world for international relations and development. So whatever option it is, we hope to be able to recommend a certain university for you. And of course, we have Cardiff University just west of London. So Cardiff is located in Wales. And one particular trait that I would like to highlight for Cardiff is that if you are an architecture student, we do not require a portfolio to enter our pathway program. So this is very much an easy way of getting in instead of the usual having to provide some of your works for entry. And of course, we have our only university in Ireland located in Dublin. So this is University College Dublin, or UCD. So of course, IDP will be able to provide you with more information about this university. So I do highly encourage everyone to book an appointment with them. I believe the instructions were sent in the chat box as to how you can book an appointment with their counselor. So I have introduced the universities, but particularly what kind of programs do we offer, right? So what study group offers are pathway programs. So this is very essential for our high school students who want to enter a university in the UK for undergraduate, and also for postgraduate students who want to pursue a master's program in the UK. So we have highlighted these three important aspects as to why you should study a pathway program. So of course, it's not just the academic that we want to be able to support you with, but it's also other aspects that would affect your stay in the UK. So of course, for support in terms of settling in, we have our expert accommodation team who will be able to help you navigate through your first year in the UK. So what they do is that they offer different kinds of activities, range of activities to help students engage with other students where you can make friends, get acquainted, and even join societies or organizations. And of course, the main goal here is to be able to help you get used to living and studying in a new country. So a lot of our campus and off-campus accommodations are just a 5 to 10 minutes walk away from the university. If you are going to travel by trams or train, it's about a 20 to 25 minutes ride within the campus. So it's very much easy to navigate. And of course, the accommodation team will be able to help you navigate through the essentials within the city, whether you're looking for a particular store, for your necessities, food, whether that's a Filipino store you're looking for, a lot of options are nearby our accommodation. Aside from that, of course, to help you stay on track, so we have our personal tutors and academics who will be able to help you gain the knowledge and the skills that you need to excel in your studies. So the goal here is for you to be able to get used to a university style of teaching. Because of course, there is a big difference in terms of our way of doing it here in the Philippines, whether that's an assessment or a project, but mainly just adjusting to a different kind of curriculum, which is this time a British standard of teaching. So this actually goes hand in hand, wherein we want to be able to build on your confidence as well. So our class size are relatively smaller than the actual sizes in the university. So for your preparation, so this is around 15, at most 20 students per class, just so you'll be able to get hang of the actual university style until such time that when you finish your pathway and you progress to your undergraduate or your postgraduate degree, you will not be overwhelmed with the new setting. So in a normal setting for a classroom in the UK, you would be exposed to different international students. I think about 40 to 50 students per class. So through a pathway, this is a preparatory year or a preparatory program. So it will definitely be able to give introduction as to what you're going to study. So where will you be studying the pathway program? So I do get a lot of questions wherein am I going to do this in the Philippines, or will this be in another school in the UK? So we have what we call an International Study Center or ISC. So within our university partners, there is a separate college, as we call it, wherein it's the ISC. So here you will be able to prepare for your nominated degree for your or a university style of teaching, because our pathways are designed in such a way that it's a preparatory year for your actual degree. So we have pathways for business, we have pathways for social sciences, we have pathways for the engineering, we also have pathways for the health sciences. So whatever program you intend to progress to, then of course that there is a certain pathway for it, whether you want to do nursing for your undergraduate studies, for example, then you will be studying a pathway program for life sciences and such. So the support is tailored fit because you will only be studying subjects that are relevant to what your degree will be. So we're used to studying general subjects, right? But for universities in the UK, the degrees are actually targeted, wherein you will be studying only the relevant subjects for your, not just for your undergraduate studies, but for your career as well. And of course, there is flexibility and choice. So we'd offer a wide range of programs in different universities and different intake start dates. So a while ago, Danny has shown you the different intake start dates in the UK for you to choose from, whether you want to start in September or you don't want to wait longer and you want to start in January. So in a while, I will be able to show you the different intake start dates that we have in our university partners. Now, where do these pathway programs come in and why do you need them? Why is this beneficial for you? So this is a brief side-by-side comparison of the UK and our education system here in the Philippines. So here in the Philippines, we now have two kinds of system. We have our K-12, which is the senior high school. Then we have our IB curriculum. So for our IB students, normally that is direct entry in a university. So there is no need for a pathway program. But for our high school students, specifically those taking the K-12 track, there is a need for you to do a pathway program because of the difference in our education system. So as you would notice here, you would see that for the UK education system, there's similar to our senior high school is until year 13. And of course, for our senior high school, it is until year 12 only. So you would immediately notice that there is one more year that we need to fill in for us to be eligible for an undergraduate study in the UK. Good news is that in the UK, it will only take 3 years for you to complete your bachelor's degree. So if you are going to study a pathway program, the most that you will be studying a degree for is 4 years for a bachelor's. So it's similar still with how we do it here in the Philippines. And one particular question might be, why is it just 3 years? That is because when you study your undergraduate studies in the UK, it focuses on just the targeted subjects that are relevant to your program. Because here in the Philippines right now, we have our first year where we do the general subjects. Most often, we do our majors in second year, sometimes even in third year. So it actually prolongs the time that we have to study because of the actual number of subjects that we have to take. But in the UK, since it's targeted, that makes it 3 years for a bachelor's degree, then just 1 year for a master's degree. So in the UK as well, so there will be different pathway programs depending on your qualification. So in study group, what we offer our foundation program, which is generally the most common pathway for our senior high school students. Then we have international year one and international year two for our undergraduate students who want to continue their studies in the UK. And we have our pre-master's program for our postgraduate students who want to do a master's degree. So here is a study plan just so it's much easier to navigate through which pathway is basically required for you. So if you are a K-12 student right now, you're in your grade 11 or you have just finished your grade 12 and you are exploring your options abroad, so there are actually two ways for you to study in the UK. The most common pathway is the foundation program. So the foundation program will serve as your year 13, but of course the main difference with this one is that it's the introduction to your undergraduate degree. So if we will connect the pathway programs available that I mentioned earlier, so if you want to study accounting and finance for your bachelor's degree, you will be doing a foundation program in business, and that foundation program in business will focus on just the essential subjects that you need. So normally for a business course, you would be studying mathematics. So there is also English. So it's a different kind of mathematics that you'll be studying. Sometimes it also has the sciences, but it depends on the actual progression degree that you will do. So once you finish your foundation year, so after grade 12, it's foundation year, then upon successful completion, you will progress to year one at the university directly. So the first question here might be, do I still need to apply for year one separately after foundation? So the answer is no, because the foundation program is a guaranteed progression since it's a tie-up within the university that you will be studying at. So all you need to do is to just pass foundation year, then you will progress to year one and end by year three. So it's a total of 4 years of study for our K-12 students. Now, where does an international year one come in? So the international year one used to be offered to students who already hold at least a first year undergraduate study in the Philippines, and then they want to go to the UK to continue their bachelor's. Unfortunately, transfers are not allowed in the UK, so you will really have to do over year one. But since we are not yet recognized for a direct entry at the university, that is where the pathway for international year one will come in. So since pathway programs would normally house international students coming from different national curriculums. So that's the main purpose. So if you are a first year undergraduate student in the Philippines and you want to do your undergraduate studies in the UK, there is what we call an IY1, which is the pathway counterpart of a year one at the university. And upon successful completion of this, you will progress to year two and end by year three. So this will cut down your study years to just 3 years. But good news is that we have just recently opened our international year one to K-12 students as well, subject to you, of course, meeting the grade requirements. Now, this time, if you are grade 12 right now and you want to apply to an undergraduate study in the UK, you can apply for an international year one instead. We can check your eligibility for an international year one so that instead of 4 years with a foundation program, your study years will be cut to just 3 years. It's very cost effective, and of course, it will definitely prepare you for your undergraduate studies. Now, for you to know if you are eligible for an international year one, please do consult with an IDP counselor so that, of course, they can help guide you towards the application process. So, with our pathway programs for undergraduate studies, we also have our pathway program for postgraduate students. Now, I'm sure there have been students wherein you hold a certain academic degree, but your work experience is far from your academic background, and you want to continue on with a master's degree in the UK based on your work experience. Most often, master's degrees in the UK would look for an academic background as well because of certain subjects. Then, aside from that, is your work experience. Normally, it would be discouraging for students because you don't have rather the academic qualification to enter the master's directly. That is where the pre-master's program can come in. So the pre-master's program will equip you with the additional subjects that you need before you can enter the master's degree directly. So good news is that master's degrees in the UK is just 1 year, and our pre-master's program are just 2 to 3 semesters in length. So that's normally minimum of 3 months. So let's say you are going to do your pre-masters for just 3 months only, plus a 12 months of your master's degree. That's a total of 15 months for you to complete your master's. So it's still shorter as to comparing it to other countries wherein you have to do your master's degree for, let's say, 2.5 years or sometimes even 3. So the pre-masters is not just, of course, for those whose qualifications are different with their work experience right now. For our fresh graduate students, for example, there are universities in the UK wherein they will be only looking for certain applicants with work experience. The pre-masters can, of course, compensate on that because the pre-masters will also equip you with the skills that you would need to enter the master's degree directly. And also, of course, for those whose university is not yet recognized by a UK university, so this is still sometimes a common problem. So the pre-masters will also help you on that. So depending on what your qualification is, the pre-masters will equip you and of course will compensate to the lacking qualification for you to successfully enter your master's degree. This is also beneficial if you have a target university in mind and your current qualifications are not yet accepted. So how does it go with Scotland? So it's fairly the same. The labels are just different. So if it's an international foundation year for UK and Ireland, it's undergraduate foundation program for Scotland. If it's international year one for UK, it's international year two for Scotland. So why is this international year two? Because in Scotland, bachelor's degree take 4 years, unlike in the UK that it's 3, right? So if you enter an international year two, it is the year two counterpart at the for the direct entry. And of course, upon successful completion, you will progress to year three and end your degree by year four. So you would see that instead of 5 years with foundation, it will cut down your study years into just 3 with an international year two. So master's degree in Scotland is also 1 year. So the pre-masters would be the same as to how it will be for UK and Ireland. So again, if you want to know if you're qualified for an international year one and international year two, you have your IDP counselors to help you on this. But of course, for our high school students who will not be qualified for international year one, there is the foundation program, which is the most common pathway. So there are different entry requirements that we need to be able to, of course, meet. But our entry requirements for our international foundation year and international year one are commonly just 80 to 85% grades. So I'm sure a lot of our Filipino students are actually ranging from 90% and above. And I've been getting applications too from Filipino students who are always successful because they have actually surpassed even our entry requirement of 80 or 85%. So for our certain pathway, let's say it's a foundation year. So we also have our different program length, intake start dates, and IELTS requirement for that. So our foundation year is offered in all of our university partners. So we have, I think, about 15 or 16 UK centers. All of them offer a foundation year, and the program length is 3 terms. So it's normally around 9 months. So if you are going to study this September 2024, you will most likely end around July. And upon successful completion, let's say you got your grades and you passed your foundation program, it's an automatic progression to the September intake of your year one degree. So again, there is no need for you to apply. You just need to be able to maintain the grades during foundation. And of course, we also offer different start dates. If let's say you don't want to start in September, we have other intake dates like October, November, and we even have January. You might be asking, or there might be a question wherein, will I be able to progress by September if I will start in November or January? So our intake start dates are specifically tailored for you to be able to progress just in time for September, whether you started early around September of the previous year, or let's say you started in November. As for the IELTS, I would like to highlight here that what you need to take up for the IELTS test if you're a foundation student is an IELTS academic for UKVI. So lucky for you guys, IDP is a co-owner of IELTS. So it's like a one-stop shop. Upon counseling with an IDP counselor, you can also inquire about how to book for your IELTS test with them. So IDP has different IELTS testing centers, not just in Metro Manila, but in outside or nearby provinces as well. For our IELTS score, we would just normally ask for at least a highest is a 5.5 with no band below 5, or 4.5 with no band below 4. So the IELTS score depends on the school or the center. But of course, the higher the center, the higher the IELTS score requirement is as well. So aside from the foundation year for our international year one, on the other hand, so please note that our University of Sheffield and Durham University centers do not offer an international year one, but for the rest of our centers, we do. So the program length is the same, about 3 terms. Intake start dates are also the same. But what I would like to highlight here is the IELTS. So we have some centers wherein we offer an integrated CAS. The CAS is your visa document, which is basically issued by us to you rather through your counselor in IDP. So we have centers or university partners wherein they can issue one or single CAS for your international year one and your 3 years undergraduate studies. So that is very much cost efficient. You don't need to worry about going back to the Philippines to apply for your visa or renew. So these centers are, of course, will be provided by your IDP counselor upon consulting with them. For foundation, our CAS or the visa document is separate from the undergrad. So you still have to renew and apply for a visa if you're a foundation student progressing to year one. As to our pre-master's programs, so this is around 2 or 3 lengths, and you would notice that we also offer an intake in April, sometimes even in May or June. So this is for you to be able to progress by September, just 3 months after. That is why we have our summer intakes. For pre-masters, we only, of course, will be able to accept IELTS academic. So you don't have to necessarily take the UKVI type. The academic will be accepted. And for the IELTS score, normally a 5.5 or 5 or no band below 5. So the IELTS test again will depend on the university where you want to take up your pre-masters. All right. So depending on the qualification that you have, if you are a student who wants to take up foundation program or international year one, is a current graduate of grade 12, please, I do encourage you to submit your application through IDP, as we are offering on the spot offers today and up to 5,000 pounds discount. So how will you be able to submit your applications, right? So we do have our agent portal wherein IDP will be able to access for you. So upon consultation with IDP and once you have your complete requirements, all you need to do is to just submit your requirements to your IDP counselor and they will handle the process for you. So what I would like to highlight in our admissions portal is that We offer a fast turnaround time of up to 48 hours on a regular timeline if your application is straightforward. But if, let's say, there are some additional requirements needed by our admissions team, it can be as long as 4 to 5 days. So it's still within a week timeline, and you would be able to receive an offer as soon as, of course, your application is assessed and you are qualified to enter the program. So here's one of our students, Bianca, just to share with you guys. So Bianca is actually an IDP student as well, and she did her foundation year in social science and humanities back in January 2023. So now she is studying BA design at University of Sheffield. So she was able to successfully progress. And actually, when I met Bianca the first time, she's actually a bit hesitant and of course nervous because this is her first time going to the UK for studies. But now she's part of societies. She was able to make friends. She was able to explore new hobbies and interests. So I hope you would be the next student who will be able to take advantage of these opportunities for you. All right. So if you are looking for scholarships, so we do offer automatic scholarships up to £5,000, depending on, of course, your qualifications. But whether you're a student who's looking for an automatic or a merit-based scholarship, we have those options for you. So we currently have our next generation innovations. So this is an international student competition by study group for the following universities. So we have, I think, about 2 Filipinos who already registered for this competition. So if you are going to study in one of these centers for your foundation year or international year one program, so this is for our high school students, all you need to do is to just complete a registration form and submit a 5,000 word project proposal by June 30. So your proposal must focus on these topics. So either it's engineering, health sciences, or business. And then all you need to do is, of course, submit that proposal through this link that can be provided by your IDP counselor. So first, submit your application to any of these centers, and your IDP counselor will be able to give you the link for the registration. So the prices here would range from 6,000 to 8,000 pounds, deducted, of course, for your foundation year and international year one tuition fee. So we're looking for a student who would like to, of course, share how they can give back to their community, how they can address a global issue and such. So if you are that student who's interested to join this, we highly encourage you to participate in the competition. If you're chosen as the top 10 finalist, we will be sending you to Kuala Lumpur for an all expense paid finals event, which will be happening on July 28th. So if you have the time to participate, so do participate for this competition. And of course, we're now accepting applications for on-the-spot offers. So for our high school students in attendance, if you have your transcripts and your passport on hand, you just need to submit the scanned copy or the digital copy to IDP, and we can process the on-the-spot offer once you are assessed and get up to £5,000 scholarship. All right, so thank you so much for your time to our students. Right now, if you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them for you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Joanna, for that very informative discussion with our students and for discussing with them the ways on how we can help them achieve their goals in studying in the United Kingdom. So I suggest to our students that you take advantage of these very generous offer from the study group because it's an instant offer, and of course they are giving a discount for our students, and not all institutions give this kind of discount na it's actually very big. Okay, moving forward. As I've said earlier, we're not just having an info session this afternoon with study group, but we are also having their application week. They are giving on-the-spot offers and scholarship up to £5,000 to qualified students. All you have to do is book an appointment with your IDP counselors from June 14 to 19 and present your requirements needed so that you can avail on this very special offer from study group. For appointments, you can message your counselors directly if you already have one, or message Christine or Gerald, who's here with us in the chat box. Again, it's application week in partnership with Study Group. Send in your applications from June 14 to 19 and get on the spot offers and scholarship grant of up to £5,000. Now that we know who is Study Group, I know you already have an idea who IDP is. But let me run through this for you to remember who are we and how we can help you achieve your goals in studying in the United Kingdom. We have been mentioning IDP since we started this event this afternoon. Now I'd like to gauge our participants' familiarity with IDP. So, guys, can you please give me a thumbs up if you're already familiar with who IDP is and what we do? Thumbs up naman tayo dyan, guys. Okay. So I'm seeing thumbs up na. Okay, okay. So I assume many of you are already familiar with who IDP is. But for the benefit of everyone attending our event this afternoon, I'm pleased to introduce to you IDP. Okay, IDP actually is the world leader in providing the needs of the modern student. We have been helping international students change their stories for over 54 years. So 54 years na ang IDP sa industry na to. So trust that we know what we are doing. So sa 54 years in, can you imagine how many international students na napadala namin not only in the United Kingdom, but also in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and Ireland. Okay, so we are also proud co-owner of IELTS. IELTS, which stands for the International English Language Testing System. It is a globally recognized standardized test assessing English language proficiency for individuals aiming to work, study, or migrate to an English-speaking country. So you might be wondering why we always promote IELTS. It's not just because we are co-owners of IELTS, but it is the widely accepted English proficiency exam na tinatanggap lalo na sa UK. Okay? As a front runner in the global education sector, IDP proudly represents over 600 schools spanning all educational levels worldwide. This extensive network offers you a lot of great options to explore. Whether you're considering studying in Canada or the UK or Australia or Ireland or New Zealand, where we have a long list of partnered institutions, we have got you covered with a diverse range of choices. IDP has a presence in 35 countries, including the Philippines, and boasts 200 international education placement centers worldwide. These centers serve as invaluable hubs, guiding and supporting students on their journey to becoming international students. So as I've said earlier, 54 years na kami sa industry. So can you imagine over 700,000 students placed internationally ang dumaan na sa IDP. So as I've said as well kanina, trust that we know what we are doing and trust our counselors and believe na we're doing our best for you guys and para mapadali yung pag-achieve natin sa goals natin in studying in the UK. So, yan, study abroad with IDP, free services. So, ang services ng IDP ay free. So, unlike any other agencies na nagbibigay na may fee when you are Um, when you are consulting with them sa IDP, we don't charge our students for any consultation fees because we're directly partnered with the universities in the United Kingdom. And here, this is basically yung services namin. So basically, the step one is expert counseling services, bringing our expertise to where students are. So this is basically yung entry point natin sa application process and in achieving their goal in studying abroad. This is where you'll start your conversation with your counselor. Tell them everything they need to know so that they can help you so much better. Then we also do international study seminars. We hold weekly info sessions for free as well. We bring our counseling services directly to you through various city visits, international study seminars, make it more accessible for aspiring international students. Actually, a few weeks ago, I've just been to Cebu, and our partners have been to Davao as well and CDO, and we'll be having another international study seminar coming 2 weeks from now. We will be visiting Cotabato. So, as I've said, we're bringing um, these services for you para mas accessible sa mga students natin. And lastly, the education fair and events, a platform where students can meet international school representatives in person. So this coming August, I believe August 24, we'll be having the biggest education fair and events for the United Kingdom and Ireland. This is the Study World. So the Study World, this is we fly in different university representatives from the UK and Ireland here to the Philippines in Manila so that they can cater to our students and promote their universities and their programs to you. So definitely we'll be sending you an invite to these events. So ayan. So for our upcoming events, you can scan the QR code flash on your screens para alam nyo din if ever na may events na malapit sa inyo, then definitely you can join us and it is definitely for free. Okay, I'm pretty sure you're all aware of the Shielding Scholarship. On July 5, actually, we'll be having an info session on how to avail this. Please scan the QR code to register, and I hope to see you there as well. Also, we have an exclusive study abroad tools that can help you ease your research. We have the cost of living calculator that can help you estimate how much you will need to cover your expenses as an international student in a particular location. You may scan the QR code from your screen or grab a screenshot so you can save the QR code for later. At IDP, we got all the students' essentials covered to ensure a seamless 360-degree application process. If your chosen school or destination requires a local bank account, do not worry, IDP is here to lend a helping hand and guide you through the process of opening one, ensuring it's accredited and hassle-free. Now, when it comes to finding accommodation, IDP has you covered with accredited homestays in your desired destination. Whether you're looking for a place inside or outside the school campus, we can connect you with our accredited homestay partners in your desired destination. Rest assured, we only recommend legitimate options to ensure your peace of mind. And what about transferring money? So ito important to because it's about money. Don't worry, IDP has your back on this front too. We can assist you in safely transferring your funds to the school of your choice through accredited third-party transfer services that are recognized and accepted by the majority of institutions abroad. Also, with purchasing your student health insurance for added peace of mind. We also have an IDP application, a powerful tool designed to enhance your research and streamline the process of exploring programs across different destinations that match your qualifications. It is available for download on Google Play or the App Store. Simply sign up, input your qualifications, and you'll discover a lot of significant program suggestions waiting for you to explore. You can also reach us through social media. You can scan the QR code so you can easily follow us. You can follow us at Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Now, if you got questions about studying abroad or you need help with your IELTS test related concerns, feel free to contact us through 02-8535-3320, and we are here to address them right away. Here are our offices across the country. We have offices located in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. You may scan the QR code for your screen to know more about our physical offices. Okay, so again, as I've said earlier, let's make the most out of this study group application week because they're giving on-the-spot offers and scholarship up to £5,000 to qualified students. Book your appointment now with your IDP counselors. You can message Christine and Gerald so that you can book your appointments now with your IDP counselor. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to send them through the chat box or unmute yourself, raise your hands. Miss Joanna is still here with us, so she can answer your questions as well. Okay. Anybody? Okay, from Micaela. Can I still send my requirements po para sa on-the-spot grant kahit hindi pa na-release ang diploma?
Yes, definitely. So you can submit just your transcript of records and passport. So we do understand that a lot of students have not received their final grade yet. So we can, of course, decide and give an offer based on just your transcripts. And once you receive a conditional offer from us, the diploma will be indicated as one of the requirements that you need to fulfill to get, of course, to the next step of your process.
Okay, next question from Randall. Is the £5,000 also applicable for master's program?
Yes, the scholarships we're giving up to £5,000 depends on the school. And of course, it will also be applicable to our master's students. So our range of scholarships are given across all our pathway programs. So I highly encourage everyone to apply for us to be able to issue a scholarship upon assessment of your application.
Okay, now from Bianca. Paano mag-apply ng scholarship? Actually, hindi naman kami ng family ko po despite meron ako disabilities po, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for that question. So we do not, of course, discriminate our students. The main goal here is to be able to help and support you on your studies. So just submit your application and our admissions team will be, of course, in charge of your application. The scholarships are automatically given. So once we receive your offer, we can request for the scholarship, and depending on the center, that's a range of 1,000 to 5,000 pounds. So for us to get maximum scholarships, for example, the 5,000 or even 6,000 pounds, you may be subject to an interview, but the interview is not technical. It's mostly just getting to know you, what your career plans are, etc. But for the automatic ones, of course, there is the range of scholarships that we will be able to give you. So do submit an application. And again, we do not discourage our students regardless of their background. So definitely everyone has the opportunity to apply. Thank you.
Okay, next one from Joyce Cortez. What are the chances previous students that went through this pathway got jobs, specifically in UK after graduating?
Okay, so the chances for you to be employed, of course, depends on how you will be able to finish on to your bachelor's degree. The pathway is, of course, an entry for the direct year one, right? In the year two. And upon successful completion of the degree, the universities provide support through their career team, wherein you will be exposed to different job fairs within campus. The universities also have their corresponding industry partners. Some of the most or well-known hubs in the UK are partnered with our universities. So from there, you have the support in as simple as preparing your CVs, even doing mock job interviews. So a lot of our graduates from their bachelor's or even their master's degree are able to secure employment within 6 months of graduating. For some, actually, luckily, they are absorbed by the companies we're partnered with even prior graduation. Because you will also have your placements wherein you get to work with certain companies for a number of months during your studies. So that is also an opportunity for you to explore on the different companies that we're partnered with and even gain the necessary qualification if you want to explore other employments further. Thank you.
Okay, next one from Jenny. I have a master's degree. Is it advisable for me to take a master's program in the UK? Can I not take a certification or diploma program only? Thank you. Hmm, I have a master's degree. Is it advisable for me to take a master's program in the UK? Can I not take a certification or diploma program only?
Okay. So master's degree students are often asked for progression. So definitely a certificate and a diploma is lower than a master's degree qualification. So what I would recommend is to, of course, progress on your qualification. So normally, applying for another master's degree in the UK is the widely accepted option because there are some universities in the UK wherein they would have to consider you only if you already hold a master's degree here in the Philippines. Then there are those wherein you would have to do pre-masters if it's another master's program. So I would better recommend that there is progression on your career or your qualification so it's not questioned as well by the university. Thank you.
Okay, next one. For master's program, IELTS requirement. If, for example, the average is 6.5, but one parameter is below 5, will that be considered?
Okay, so commonly the IELTS score required for a master's degree is a band overall of 6.5, sorry, overall 6.5 with no band below 5.5 or 5. So if one band is below 5, that will of course not be qualified for entry to the program because you lack the score. I think with the IELTS exam, you are able to retake one skill only. So that is fine. It will just entail additional cost, but it will help you achieve the score required for the certain band that you got a low score of instead of having to retake the IELTS exam. In most cases, for students not to spend on amount, whether it's retaking one skill or retaking the entire IELTS exam, we can look for a university wherein your IELTS score is accepted. Thank you.
Okay, so do we have any more questions? So, okay, so if wala na, again, I encourage everyone to take advantage of this application week with study group because they're offering an on-the-spot offer and a scholarship of up to 5,000 pounds. Okay. So again, you can book your appointments. Okay, last question. Tuition fees range, please. Thank you.
All right. So, hi, good afternoon, Jenny. So, for our tuition fees, our modern universities would range from a 13,000 to 14,000 pounds range. For the higher ranking ones, it's at a much higher price. So, normally it would be around 20 to 23,000 pounds. But What I would like for us to take advantage of are the discounts, because once you get an offer from our admissions team, we can easily issue you the automatic scholarship. So if, let's say, the university that you applied to, for example, it's Leeds Beckett University, one of our partners, their tuition fee is around £14,000. And for Leeds Beckett, we would normally give out 2,000 to £3,000 off. So that reduces your tuition fee to just 10 to 11,000 only. So very, very helpful.
Okay, so thank you so much for your questions. And excuse me, guys, as I've said earlier, take advantage of this offer from Study Group. For this is a very good and generous offer from them that they're offering us and giving us an on-the-spot offer and up to £5,000 discount na malaki na siya talaga for a UK university. Okay, so guys, again, you can book your appointments through Christine and Gerald. That's it from us. That's it from our end. I am Danny, and I am a counselor for the United Kingdom as well. And thank you so much, Miss Joanna, for joining us this afternoon.